Oh, guys, we messed up.
Oh,
We should have picked Monsters, Inc., for the best musical of all time. Put that thing where it came from, or so help me, so help me. Put that thing where it came from, or so help me, so help me. That's a good movie musical.
Wow, Jake, that's a pretty funny joke you just made.
Thanks.
Look, man. Did you just make his compliment to me?
Yes.
You bastards.
I'm not taking
Sorry
credit
if I
for it.
sound wonky, everybody. I'm in a smaller closet than usual, and I have one of my shirts dangling across my face.
Actually,
so I have no gauge.
Your sound isolation should be better than it's ever been, in theory.
Yeah, but it's me we're talking about. I'm probably holding the mic upside down or some shit.
Probably. All right. Hello and welcome back if you've been with us before. We're the Tough Gut Podcast. I'm Matthew.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Jake.
And this is episode 24, part 3 of our movie musical bracket. Coming at you today, we've got Mamma Mia versus Les Mis. And in the second half of the episode, we've got The Producers versus The Road to El Dorado.
Yeah.
Should be a lot of fun.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It'll be fun.
Okay, so, we'll get there. We'll get there. Wait, I want to write a note.
Matthew always wants to write a note.
Ominous note time.
You guys never know this, but Matthew writes a lot of notes. We give him at least an hour per recording to write out notes.
I gotta write notes.
We have to slot an extra hour of time.
Yeah. And he always insists it be in the episode, but luckily enough, Alex has been editing lately, and he's been taking out the extra hour. So you're welcome, audience.
True.
Well, and then he never shares what the notes are. He's just like, ooh, gotta write down a note.
Or you could demand the Matthew cut.
Well, we'll get to it later.
Demand the Matthew cut.
Demand the Matthew cut. If these we're going to be spoiling these movies if we haven't already. So if this is the first episode you're watching, this will be kind of confusing.
Give another heartbreaking spoiler right now, so they know we're serious. Spoil a movie.
Spoil a movie right now.
There's a troll in the bathrooms in the first Harry Potter.
Holy shit! There are.
You were warned.
You were
warned,
audience. You were warned, audience. And now you feel silly because you really were finally going to watch the Harry Potters. Everyone's been talking about it your whole life. And you're like, I'm going to sit down.
You finally got the resolve. You rented it on Amazon Prime. You were ready to sit down and watch Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And now you don't have to.
Because now you know there's a troll in the bathroom.
With that, we'll hop into the first of our matchups here.
Let's do it. I can start since I have 3 movies to introduce today.
Yeah.
Okay, flex. I like it.
A little bit of a flex, a little bit. I'm a little proud. Although, of course, this is the bracket where you guys are like, we picked bad movies, and my 3 movies moved on. And I'm like, okay.
Look.
Mamma Mia.
I was proud of Tenacious D, okay? And it was struck down like a common peasant.
It was smote.
Yes. Mamma Mia.
It should have been. Mamma Mia. What an incredible movie, guys. It's the Greek island adventure. Little baby Sophie girl is getting married, and her mom wants her to, but doesn't want her to, just wants her daughter to be happy. Filled with plenty of celebrities, most of which can sing.
Mm-hmm.
And all the music is ABBA. What? So much fun.
Yeah.
Love this movie.
Cool.
And it's going up against Les Miserables 2012. Tom Hooper. It's chock full with celebrities. Most of them can sing. And I mean, it's about Jean Valjean, played by Hugh Jackman. He was arrested. He was doing crime for stealing bread. He got out after trying to escape many times. He finally got out. And he has a kid now that he's watching because Anne Hathaway died, and it's during one of the French revolutions. There's pick your choice. There's a lot, and they start yelling and screaming about it. And there's revolution.
Incredible.
I've realized that I'm bad at defending movies.
Maybe.
I have a big important question for you, Jake.
Yeah.
Because this just came into my mind. and I've realized it ruins the whole movie for me. Jean Valjean gets arrested for stealing a loaf of bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes me really mad that he says bread and not baguette.
Right. That was Hugh Jackman's choice, and they were really scared of him on set because that's
due to the sort of live performance angle they tried to record everything with. So the music and the actors kind of have to respond to each other. He went off the record, said bread instead of baguette, and there was literally nothing they can do.
He did a lot of improvising.
Also, Russell Crowe can't pronounce baguette.
Yeah, he
wasn't singing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Bagoot. Damn it.
Stealing a loaf of bajout.
Oh, baguette. What if he chose to have a really awful French accent instead? What if, I surrender. No, you don't. Oh, this I swear to by these stars. Anyway, that's my French accent.
Great French jokes. This is the material you get at early in the morning, gang.
So what I want to start things off with, I guess, follow that up with.
Yeah, please do.
Is the Battle of the Bad. Russell Crowe versus Pierce Brosnan. Who does it better? Who does it worse? And what is better?
So I think Russell Crowe's is more famously bad, for what that's worth. People passing judgment about Pierce Brosnan, but when I do the voice, or that's Russell Crowe in Les Mis, that's Javert. But I will say he delivered a good performance. He just couldn't sing. The acting he did, when Gavroche, the little boy, died. Let all people know. Bang.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
It was fucking metal. But that scene at the end where he sees the kid and he pins his own badge to him. I think he did a good job acting wise in the movie.
He's a good actor, yes.
Yeah, he won an Oscar. Has Pierce Brosnan won an Oscar?
I don't know.
So here's what I think. And I think it comes down to they're both bad. But does the bad singing... I think the bad singing undermines Russell Crowe more than it does Pierce Brosnan. Because Russell Crowe's role is incredibly serious. And Pierce Brosnan's is pretty funny. It's the main love interest for Donna, but it's also such a funny, absurd movie. The whole thing is a Greek comedy drama.
Tragedy.
Oh. Yeah. They the whole movie. This is something I wanted to get into for Mamma Mia. The whole thing, they have an actual Greek chorus. I just think it's so hysterical. There are so many weird tie-ins to ancient Greek theater that this movie does. It's Greek farce. I think it's hysterical. And so I think Pierce Brosnan's bad singing undermines the movie less than Russell Crowe's does.
And on the other side, Les Mis got a lot of France in it.
This is true.
And it is the projected design is remarkable and stellar, especially from stage to screen, which isn't something I don't think because of our picks we haven't gotten to really dive into that a lot because we've had a lot of things that weren't on stage before.
Yes,
but yes, we have. But I think it is an important thing because if they're adapting a musical, that's a feat in and of itself. And I think Les Mis genuinely for bringing the stage to life, they do a remarkable job at doing that.
I think interestingly, it's going up against Mamma Mia, which does the same thing. It creates it has those beautiful Greek island vistas. You really feel you are in a Greek island doing
For
that.
me, Mamma Mia feels it's a bunch of actors having fun on vacation. But
but you're still in that Greek, when you watch it, I feel I'm on that Greek island with them, because you can I feel I'm part of the fun.
So when Javert's standing on that ledge and you're is he going to jump? And then he does it the first time.
I'm part of the fun.
I'm just hanging out.
I think the soldiers, like, that feels like where they're like, red the blood of angry man. Blah.
Right, the soldiers in Mamma Mia before the war.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine if Mamma Mia just turned into a war movie?
What a time that would be.
Yeah, I don't think most of them would come out the other side the same.
Not Pierce Brosnan. He went, ooh, wee-haw, ooh, in the car. He's not killing anybody in cold blood. But anyway, Matthew, your thoughts?
What piece am I commenting on? My original Battle of the Bad? Or
whatever you want.
Pick your poison.
We're playing fast and loose today.
Yeah, we are. So to throw out a couple of thoughts. One, Battle of the Bad piece. I think I kind of fall in between the two of you. I think musically, Pierce Brosnan undermines less. However, Russell Crowe as Javert literally turns so funny. And I genuinely enjoy watching his awful singing, whereas Pierce Brosnan, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's what it is for me, I think now.
Nice. Okay, let's get to the other person in this that sings this song. Let's get to their part.
Yeah.
So,
because like, how do you think it went? Like, how do you think it went? They're like, cast this movie. Everyone's like, we're like really excited first day. The first time Russell Crowe opens his mouth, and
he sounds like that.
Do you think Tom Hooper literally went to his trailer, the director, just like threw everything on the ground and just like had a full on?
I like to imagine there's so many other like classically trained, talented musicians in Les Mis, and they're all like, I didn't know Russell Crowe could sing. They're like talking to each other. They're kind of like in the inside loop with each other. And the first time he opens his mouth, they're just like, we cast him? I would love to be there for that.
Here's the thing. Have you guys seen like the fan? I mean, probably not, but like, you know, the argument that Tom like didn't like cast someone who could sing well because Javert like probably wouldn't like as a character wouldn't sing as like classically trained or some bullshit.
I mean,
you know what I
would
mean?
any
That's
of
so
these
dumb.
people sing like they were classically trained? They're like,
Yeah, I think
peasants, beggars, and prisoners.
Yeah,
Like Amanda Seyfried's character, Seyfried, Cosette. Like she maybe be able to sing. Like she's, you know, becomes the daughter of someone somewhat well-to-do. Like,
was that the Star Wars song? I have to throw out there, an audience member reached out to me.
Oh wow,
that's so nice.
And they were, I dare say, furious.
What?
They were enraged because we praised Tom Hooper and his production design and direction when this is directly what led to him being able to create Cats the way that it was.
They're enraged at a different movie.
I agree with the audience member to the point of it allowed the creation of Cats, but I'm mad because it allowed the creation of Okay, this has become a mess of a sentence. I'm going to start it over. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, you didn't hear us say that.
I agree with that audience member in the capacity of Les Mis allowed the universe to exist where they made the butthole cut and then had to remove the buttholes, you know?
But that's society.
Yeah.
You know, that's studio meddling. That's not Tom. Tom fought for that.
You know what? I think that comes back to Russell Crowe. I think if Russell Crowe had been a better singer and Les Mis had been less of a joke, the butthole cut would have been legitimate.
Les Mis wasn't like people enjoyed Les Mis. It like got like Oscar like just because this one part is mean, people really enjoyed this movie. Damn it, including me. I love
Jake,
this
are you
movie.
already forgetting?
Fuck you guys.
You're pushing me away.
No. I'm not forgetting. I was pushing Alex away, not you.
Voted, Jake, I'm the one who voted for Les Mis. I got Les Mis here.
And you guys also got Mamma Mia here, okay?
Look.
I get it. You guys form a little coalition against Matthew's movies over the course of these last two brackets. Is that what happened here?
No, I promise you I did not. I promise you.
I'm the swing voter now.
No.
So the other piece of the comment that I wanted to make was we were talking differences in production design and things like that from stage to screen, because both of these stage to screen. I think Mamma Mia feels more like a movie, whereas, as you know, you kind of said, Jake, Les Mis is trying much harder to be a faithful adaptation of what you see on stage, which, I mean, I've said before when we talked about the producers that I think a movie musical should try to take advantage of film, which interestingly, we talked about this a little bit when we first spoke about Les Mis. It does in some capacities because it shows you other perspectives on these grand sets that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see
of the stage, and like
which is kind of, you know, it is kind of a cool incorporation.
Well, I think it's like a blend. Like, that's why I think Les Mis is so interesting, and why it was so interesting it came out, because they could have shot it more like a movie and all that, but they chose to do different things to make it still feel like the stage, but all like a better version of it. Like, it wasn't just like what Hamilton did and literally just recorded the stage and called it a movie and got it nominated. Like, it wasn't that. It is a film. It did take advantage of those things. It just did other things on top of that to try to blend stage and screen. And I thought that was like really inventive and hadn't been done before.
Yeah.
In a really interesting way.
Yeah, I think honestly, similarly, I think Mamma Mia, what it uses film for is to create these, I guess, in my mind, iconic like pictures on the screen. Like,
can I ask a little piece on that? Iconic because they're from like iconic images from the stage adaptation. I've never seen Mamma Mia on stage, or you just mean iconic in general?
I think in my mind, iconic in general, because I have seen a stage production of Mamma Mia. It wasn't the Broadway one, so I don't know if they directly pulled pictures from that.
Nice.
The stage production that I saw of Mamma Mia was very bad.
It was just me on the side of the street doing a one-man play of Mamma Mia.
It was at a dinner theater, and I think I saw their like second cast for it, and it was really not good. But so like in my mind, the movie creates its own like iconic pictures, like the fountain at the end, or like the stairs that she's walking up to the wedding, or like the dock scene where they're jumping into the water. Like, to me, those are things that they could not do on stage that they were able to do because it was a movie and they could actually change locations and have water and all this stuff.
You can't have Javert throwing himself off that bridge unless it's a movie, and you hear that crunch.
Actually, you can throw people off a bridge in a stage play. We did in my middle school adaptation of.
Do you kill a person on stage?
No.
You killed chickens. You did, like, come on.
A middle school adaptation of Oliver. Bill Sykes falls off a bridge, which I have now just spoiled Oliver.
Hell yeah. We warned you, audience. You thought we weren't serious. Now you know about the trolls in the bathroom and the end of Oliver. God, that one fan who's going to listen to this is going to be so upset.
Guys, we did a spoiler warning for movies. We didn't do a spoiler warning for stage productions of Oliver.
Damn.
Audience, we let you down. I'm so sorry.
Holy shit.
I'll see if I can find my recorded copy of our middle school adaptation of Oliver. And I'll tweet the scene of Bill Sykes dying.
Unprompted, like nothing else, just tweet.
I will have to see if I still have it.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's me as Mr. Brownlow, the only major character who doesn't sing. Isn't that weird, guys?
That feels like your energy, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Wow.
There is nothing on earth that we share. All right.
I'm so caught up with Pierce Brosnan and Russell Crowe because that would be me. I can't sing.
You are the Pierce Brosnan or Russell Crowe of these movies.
It's crazy because these two movies, like, I genuinely do love both these movies. If I didn't make that clear that I love Mamma Mia, I really do. But it's so crazy because, like, one is like fun incarnate and the other's like depressing
Very
a little
heavy.
bit. It's heavy.
Except for Master of the House.
Well, yeah, which is, again, a great song. I think they blend, and they do have a lot of fun in Les Mis, but it's wild how, like, you know...
Yeah, it's a much more dour, much more serious tone.
Rather than, like, a drama, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The fun kind of drama. The one where people die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one where little kids get shot.
That was a little joke.
It was just
Little
a joke
French
to
boy.
you, but I'm dead now. Because
Yeah.
he has that strong British accent for some reason. Because everyone in America thinks that all of Europeans just have British accents when they speak in English.
You know that guy's actually British, that kid?
I mean,
That's just how he talks.
yeah, but I mean, they just cast a bunch of British people.
yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Let all people know.
Cool.
Let all people.
Looking at my...
What we got. Some boy.
See, if it had been in a French accent,
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Little people. No.
little people, no. Little people, no.
That's going to break me. I'm going to think about that in my dreams tonight.
I hope you do. Dream with me.
Ooh, dream of me.
Wait, Alex, did you listen to all the songs on 0.5 speed like you said you would?
I didn't. I'm a liar.
Damn.
Can you imagine?
I let you down, guys. I'm sorry.
Fine.
We forgive you.
I carved out those 8 hours for you. I cleared your schedule and everything. I'm Alex's assistant, if you guys didn't know. I planned everything out for him. I'm actually very lucky he lets me do this podcast with him. It's my form of payment, he told me.
Yeah, this is how I pay Jake for being my assistant.
You can join us
Jake,
on the podcast.
If you don't vote for Mamma Mia, you're fired.
Fuck.
That was a joke. That was a joke. I wouldn't fire Jake not for voting for Mamma Mia.
And besides, we all know after that poll for who put Sonic in the bracket and you guys were asked to leave the podcast, you're only here as extended guests now.
Yeah.
We're Matt's guests.
Matthew keeps inviting us back for being guests, and it's real nice.
I think we have good chemistry.
Does that mean I can say no? Does that mean I don't have to show up next week?
You can. You just technically you have to let me know a month in advance. So
oh shit,
it would be 4 episodes from now that you wouldn't be showing up for.
This is derailed. Alex is gonna listen like this is nothing to do with anything. You guys ready to
keep
vote?
It all in. Yeah, I'm ready to vote.
I feel like I'm not, which is arguably kind of important.
Do you have any other questions for us, Matt? Because it's kind of clear where we both lie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll lay on you guys what I think are my most serious critiques of each film. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how this turns out.
Yeah.
And throw me a little defense. Try and win me over. I guess we'll start with Les Mis.
I'm ready.
So for Les Mis, despite how innovative its production design is and their blending of like live music with live performance for their recording, I talked about this last time that I think that the rough edges it resulted in were like a big negative of like, I get that it feels more like a live performance and it's really technically impressive, but I feel it came to a worse product. Like, how do you reconcile that with making a great movie musical?
So I think, unfortunately, a lot of that is the preference of it, because I said it before, like, genuinely people enjoy this adaptation, and like it did get a lot of praise when it came out. Upon separation, like, yeah, like it feels different than the others, but I think that's why it lends itself to that. I mean, I can't speak on you enjoying it or thinking it's like worse off, unfortunately, but I do think because it played like more and it like a risk more to do it, I think it does work in some capacities, and like that's kind of cool to make those
comes
risks
off as more authentic.
Yeah. And I kind of like that. And like, you know, they didn't just focus on that, which I think is also important. Like, there are still good parts that like benefit outside of that for the movie, you know, and like sometimes it did, like Anne Hathaway giving that hell of a performance live and like how it felt like you were sitting there with her on stage. I thought that was very powerful and really cool. But yeah, so that's my defense on that.
Sure. Throwing things the other direction towards Mamma Mia.
Send it in.
This is also something we kind of got into when we first talked about Mamma Mia. I feel like some of the renditions of the songs, due to casting and maybe production pieces, I guess this just feels more preference based though, which I don't like, because it like they feel more amateurish to me.
Okay.
And like that doesn't, I don't know. But as I like, that feels more preference related than anything, because there are lots of people that love the versions like you, Alex. You love the versions from this movie.
I prefer the movie versions. Yeah.
Whereas like if I was going to listen to any of the songs from this movie, I probably would never go to the movie soundtrack first.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say is that I disagree because I like the movie version. I think part of it is, and I think this harkens back to our Rocky Horror discussion. Because if you're listening to the songs, the ABBA versions, you get the ABBA versions of the songs. If you listen to the movie, though, it is almost like it's the same kind of thing for me as like how seeing the Shadowcast of Rocky is like an event and experience. For me, watching the movie Mamma Mia feels like an event and experience on its own. So like listening to the music brings me back to the event, the experience of watching the movie, which I kind of think is a more fun kind of thing. And I think, I think listening to the movie versions of the songs brings me to the feeling of watching the movie versus listening to just the ABBA songs doesn't put me there.
Yeah, so there's like a different emotional resonance kind of going on in the versions.
Right. Yeah, it's less like I think this is a better version of the song, and more like I think this version of the song has a special feeling that it gives me.
That's a really fair point, because my favorite version of Mamma Mia is like a much more like somber sort of take on it as like a breakup song. Okay, yeah, we'll vote. It's been a long time since I've been like super torn during a vote. I've been so snappy with my votes recently.
Yeah. Well, I am voting for Mamma Mia.
Yeah, and I'm gonna solidify here voting for Les Mis.
It would be super funny, Jake, if you had just been, yeah, and I'm solidifying, I'm voting for Mamma Mia. And I'm just like,
Mamma Mia. Totally say so fuck
funny.
You to your existential crisis. Matthew's doing the tactic where he's also voting at 0.5 speed.
We're gonna milk the best joke this podcast has ever had for everything it's got.
Oh yeah.
I already pulled the I'm voting for something not in the bracket joke. I can't do that again.
You did it twice last time. I don't know what's stopping you.
Did I? Damn, that's crazy.
You talked about Ghost Rider the musical in our first vote, and then you sang about Ghost Rider the musical in our second vote.
Huh. That's pretty weird, dude. I feel caught because it's one of the situations of, I think my personal preference in the bracket vote and like what is a better movie musical differ.
Yeah, I see what
like
you mean.
I think the process of watching one was better, but I think the other one fits the bracket more. And I guess for philosophical consistency, I've got to vote for the one I feel fits the bracket better. It's what The Dark Knight died for. So
yeah, yes.
That wasn't a final.
I guess.
I am going to vote for Les Miserables.
Wow.
I think I enjoyed Mamma Mia more, but I think from the perspective, like it's hard for me to shake the sort of amateurish feeling of it's like people go to a place, have fun, whereas Les Mis feels like a much more grounded like production.
So guys, are you telling me that Les Mis made it to the finals?
I think so.
Wow.
Hell yeah,
Which
brother.
is
Wow.
I don't know. I feel kind of torn up on that one.
I did not expect that.
I truly do think I enjoyed.
Hey man, I mean, you said it already, but if you'd rather change it, that's fine.
I enjoy Mamma Mia more. I just think Les Mis is a better musical. Yeah, so that brings us to the other side of the bracket where, Alex, you've got some legwork to do explaining these two movies.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm so excited.
And who would have guessed? I didn't prep my descriptions of these movies at all. So
and
let's
you
get
guys
into the
make
producers.
fun of me for writing notes.
The producers. It came out in 2005. I think. Let me go check on that. Oh, God, I should have done some prep work. Yeah, 2005. The Producers, released in 2005, follows one experienced Broadway producer and one amateur as they try to get rich quick by producing a surefire Broadway flop. And they pick a musical called Springtime for Hitler, and that's pretty funny. And that is going up against The Road to El Dorado, a zany little adventure movie, music by Elton John and so many other incredible musicians. Jake somehow has no connection to any of the music in this movie, which is absolutely wild to me because I think it's so good. Two con men go to Central America and end up finding the lost city of gold. And it's pretty fun.
Oh my God, we spoiled again. Nice. I think we should start spoiling more, honestly. We keep warning people and we tiptoe around it. Nah, give away
There's a troll
everything.
in the bathroom.
There's a troll in the bathroom.
There's a troll in the bathroom of the Road to El Dorado. It's a big action sequence.
Nice. I've got things to talk about unless other people do.
No, well, I these movies, and like you said with like the music portion of Road to El Dorado, like the more I thought about it, and I was talking with people about these movies, just like whatever friends, and if we're doing best like movie musical and like, you know, I think recognition and stuff is important. I love that you picked it because like not a lot of people would think of that first, but also that like weighs in my thing where it's like if it's a movie musical, like not a lot of people could think of those songs / like think of that movie. It's not like one that pops out.
I think just because a movie wasn't super popular doesn't make it like a good movie musical.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I just like, I think at the very least, the producers has a song that I know a lot of people know because of its ridiculousness. But like Road to El Dorado, I still can't think of the music. And like I feel like that's so crucial for a movie musical.
Look, I have spent quite a bit of time since our last episode listening to music from the movies on this side of the bracket. And I just keep coming back to It's Tough to Be a God because that song is so good. Look, the roguish archetype, like Road to El Dorado, just comes together on so many things I really enjoy. It's kind of crazy.
It's true.
The roguish archetypes, the desire to be rich, the
armadillo,
stealing a horse from a Spanish conquistador. That's on my bucket list.
Stealing a horse. Yeah.
This movie just checks a lot of boxes for Matthew.
Both these movies just feel aggressively like okay to me. So I feel like I need to be swayed either way.
Something I want to throw out then. I don't know if this might hurt. I don't know. We'll see. Something
Wait,
I think
Matt the most decided on this matchup? Like, because I have no idea what I'm voting for. I love both of these movies dearly. This is very funny.
I absolutely am.
That's really funny because he hated Will Ferrell so much.
Something I think we need to consider is how Road to El Dorado paints itself as a blueprint for future DreamWorks movies. And I'm saying this not just from the musical perspective, but from the movie and studio perspective. Like the general setup of like the snarky animal companion in Altivo that we see later, like comes into form with characters like Donkey or Toothless. We have Chell as sort of the romantic interest initially introduced as a supporting character that parallels things like Astrid and Fiona. Like this movie I think would...
Okay, but her character was not... They tossed her aside, but
we can talk more about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it paints the blueprint for so much of what DreamWorks would go on to do that like you have to respect that they like the way they felt out formula and they're like, we can iterate on and improve this. Like Road to El Dorado walked so things like Shrek could run, you know?
Wow. That's a big statement,
okay.
Matt.
I stand by it.
Big statement. And I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
This was also only the third movie that DreamWorks ever put out.
What were the first two?
It was Ants, the Prince of Egypt.
And then The Road to El Dorado.
Yeah. Which, Jesus, God, why didn't we pick the Prince of Egypt? I think that's what's holding me so back for like this animated like movie musical. Because like, sure, it is in technicalities, like characters sing, but they sing like twice or like 3 times, and then like there are songs in it that are sung but they're kind of in the background, and like I don't know, the producers is like I said, the songs go on for a bit too long for me, and some of them come off like as intensely satirical, but maybe not in a good way. Like the jokes don't land. I think Alex, how he put it, when we were compared to Tenacious D, like the humor is, yes, the jokes are trying to be satirical, so like you can quote unquote get away with it, but I just don't think they land as hard, so it feels like kind of icky sometimes. I don't know. Someone else say
it's
something.
Very funny that Jake is split between these movies because he doesn't like them very much, and I'm split between these movies because I love them very much.
Yeah.
I'm going to avoid just talking about the Road to El Dorado by pitching a piece of conversation to you guys.
Yeah.
I think that there is an interesting contrast between two principal male leads and then female supporting character. We've got, Chell and Ula.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just think that they're paralleled in interesting ways and serve somewhat similar relationships with the principal male leads.
Yeah, they do. Because thinking about how like Shell is their introduction to El Dorado, like guides them a little bit in the beginning of.
Mm-hmm. And Ula's like, hey, why don't we just steal the $2 million and get outie? She's a little conniving. Shell wants some gold for herself too.
Well, and like in a kind of icky way, Ula is like Leo's like, this is what it's like to have a girlfriend as a producer, which is kind of an icky concept. But like,
I hadn't even
in
thought
the same
about that.
way of like teaching, like learning what it's like to do the thing in like an icky way.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, they do both kind of do that.
I know. I think both female characters don't get really treated well in these movies.
So something I think you kind of need to re-examine with Chell's character is like the initial setup. This coming off as like helpless, she's been framed for it, they're coming for her, posed as she is actually just as smart or smarter than Miguel and Tulio.
She is a self-actualized character for sure.
In the beginning, yeah, but I feel like she doesn't get to do that for the second half of the movie. Like, I love how they set her up. I was like, okay, she's conniving, she's do whatever, but like then she just kisses the dude and like
you take it all the way to like I unfortunately don't know the name of the sport, but the ball game that they play, like it is her quick thinking that has them win.
Yeah.
Like without Chell there, they lose and get executed, like, and that happens in the last third of the movie.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess I wish she did more had the fight in the end. Like she just kind of ran and screamed,
Yeah, she is a little absent in that last climactic bit. That's true.
Yeah. It just felt like they didn't know what to do with her, and I think I love her character so much because I like her, I think, more than Ola, but I just wish they did more with her.
Which is, I think, fair. I want to at least call out that like they sort of subtly frame her as definitely like can go toe to toe with their scheming, which I love.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to go toe to toe in a bigger way,
in a more ostentatious way. You'd like people to be more aware that she's going toe to toe.
Yeah, well, because it feels like a cop out to be like, yeah, we had a strong female character, but only if you pick it up,
only if you pay attention.
Have her be unabashedly.
It's like
strong,
if you pay attention to Altivo in several scenes, they make cutaways or background remarks with him that are directed at the audience.
There are actually some hilarious moments with Altivo. I don't know if you guys noticed this watching when they like first are on the boat riding into El Dorado and they mouth El Dorado. Altivo also mouths El Dorado as they like ride in him. It's so good.
Look, I stand by the fact that Altivo, you can see him responding to the non-diegetic music that's occurring. Like he's in on it with the audience. That horse, something's going on.
Yeah.
And
fun.
I want to get to the bottom of it. What's he doing?
Who is Altivo?
I think he's a demon. I think they actually died on the storm, and like this is their purgatory. And Altivo's the guide.
And them riding off into the sunset is them escaping purgatory, going to heaven.
Hell.
Yeah, they're they are roguish dudes.
Probably hell. Yeah. I wish there was a sequel. I wish there was a shitty
I wish
bad
there was
sequel,
a sequel so badly.
Here is another thing. I did a little reading on Road to El Dorado. It is an homage to the Road series of movies. I didn't know that. Like the Road to Singapore, the Road to Hong Kong, et cetera, with Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, and Dorothy Lamour. Like very tongue-in-cheek, like the roguish, morally dubious leads. One of them always consistently ends up with Dorothy. Like it is hugely an homage to that, which I haven't seen these other movies, but I was like, that's really interesting to me. That there was just like this very intentional reference that the creators of The Road to El Dorado wanted to make for a generation of people that probably had never seen or heard of any of those other movies, that I think is cool.
DreamWorks is smart. I mean, animation, give it credit. Like this is, they take their time with their references and all that. And I think they play off decently well. I think what big issue that I have with Road to El Dorado is I think I enjoyed as a like animated adventure, whatever movie, but as a movie musical, I just can't see it as hardcore matching up like that.
So something
that is wild to me.
I just can't.
Something I think is interesting in the comparison of these, especially from that perspective, because The Producers is not only super classically a musical, it is a musical about musicals. Like they have like a very clear, direct I want song. Like you have this sort of archetypal creation, whereas the primary non-diegetic song in The Road to El Dorado, It's Tough to Be a God, doesn't fit any of those archetypes. Like it's not an I want song coming from your protagonist is the first thing they sing non-diegetically. Like what's going on? That's crazy. It is instead like a song about their like, I don't know, just like their
adventure and struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Like it epitomizes their characters. Like they are these rogues and they're like, hey, let's just roll with it.
Yeah. Which is interesting that you feel that it could challenge the bracket in this way, but like challenging the bracket in the other way. It's because they're roguish. Because they're too roguish.
What other
men.
way are you? What are you referring to?
In like the other conversation we had, the first half, where you're like, I have to stick with the one that better matches the theme of the bracket. Where this one feels like it's...
The Road to El Dorado to me is a movie musical, is sort of the distinction.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not, but also I'm saying that it does also challenge those forms a little bit because, their first non-diegetic song doesn't really fit the formula. They don't sing too much.
The vast majority of the soundtrack is all non-diegetic, sung by Elton John.
It is a very... sung by Elton John, and it's like you're not delivering... Like, it just can't stand as like that.
I think that's fair. That's fair. I just think there's so much cool stuff going on in The Road to El Dorado.
Super. But they killed that Scar guy, and I was really upset about that. The Scar Eye guy, the little god that was just doing his job with the witch doctor.
Body.
And they killed him.
So good. That's a kick-ass line.
Also, the dude who got stomped by that big jaguar thing, and then stomped out again and like, I'm okay, I'm still okay. No, dude, you're dead. And that was like one of those cheeky anime things they had to put in, probably in post, because they try to kill someone, and they're like, you have to say he's okay.
Okay. Two things. One, I took notes on that because he gets like chomped and then stomped. I'm still okay. Hilarious. I know we talked about this being a horny movie. The opening song, The Road to El Dorado, or just El Dorado, actually, I think the theme from El Dorado, you see two armadillos fuck. They go into a bush and a bunch of babies run out. This movie is horny through and through, and I think it's all intentional. I now stand by the fact they knew what they were doing. They wanted to use it, and it's one of the reasons they make Chell so like in charge of her sexuality.
And it's one of the reasons why it's your favorite. So you went back to watch the armadillos fucking. You're like, no, fully in. I'm not voting for any other movie. I got what I wanted. I came. I saw. I conquered. Am I right, fellas?
Wow.
This is a little one. They make a Village People reference in The Producers.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Keep It Gay.
They come down in the Village People costumes.
You get the cop, sailor, Indian, etc.
Yeah,
I was like,
funny.
Wait a minute.
They like. The Producers has a bunch of good bits. I just wish it wasn't as long and like their jokes landed more through and through. But there are a bunch of good bits like that I really enjoy.
And it's like it's interesting because they're like little things that the movie doesn't really call attention to. They just like they let you like if you're in on the joke, you're in on the joke sort of thing, which I think was pretty fun.
I think it's so funny that you think the music in The Producers is long. I think all of the songs in Les Mis are so long. Like, I guess they're like pretty to listen to.
Maybe
but I don't
did listen to them in 0.5
really
speed.
Care about them. I just think it's weird that you like. I don't know. I just think it's so funny that you have no connection to these two movies that I love the music in, and you just like actively dislike it.
I don't like actively dislike. Like, I'm sure if I listen to, when I rewatch them for this, I think it's although that's important though, because I remember when I first watched these when I was like a kid or like younger or just younger, I loved these two movies. I remember loving the producers Road to El Dorado. It just so happened when I watched it now, which is like just a sign of whenever you watch it, I just didn't enjoy it as much. And I can't ignore that fact. Maybe if I watch it again in a couple months or a year, I'd be like, oh wait, yeah, I like this. But taste change, things change, and I guess I just didn't resonate hardcore this time, which is unfortunate. I wanted to.
And watching it specifically through the lens of the bracket and everything else in the bracket.
Yeah, it definitely changes things.
One last little thing I want to call out from the producers in the meeting with the director during Keep It Gay. I can't remember which character says it. I think it might be right after the song. They call our leading duo ungrateful breeders.
Yeah.
And that is funny. The funniest shit.
It's the best insult for
ungrateful breeder
hetero couple. Like, it's such a.
It's so funny.
Yeah, genuinely
so
funny
good.
lines in producers that I laughed out loud to. Still, the best one is "Why Bloom? Why go so far?
Go so far right." Yeah.
That shit.
Also, I didn't realize Uma Thurman was so tall.
She's tall.
She's tall, and I think wears
Matthew
heels.
Broderick and Nathan Lane, I think, are also pretty
They're
short.
also very
men.
short.
That's true. I think Uma Thurman though is like she's like 5'10", 5'11". She's like she's pretty tall. Well, it makes me wonder how tall Ethan Hawke is. I'm gonna rewatch Gattaca. I'm gonna put Gattaca in a bracket.
Dude, I fuck with Gattaca.
Watched it for that one philosophy class.
We should put Ape Genius in a bracket. Anyway, are you guys you guys ready to vote?
I can go first because I think it's pretty clear. I'm voting for the Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, I guess I'm voting for the producers just because I just can't. Yeah,
that's fair. Cute little boy.
Hee.
It all comes down to me. What am I going to vote for? No one knows.
I mean, knowing Alex, he's probably going to go for whatever's horniest. That's just his character.
Jake, I'm cutting that out. Jake, I'm going to cut that out. I'm voting for the Road to El Dorado.
my man doesn't want to be libeled.
Wow, what a horny pick you just gave, Alex.
I hate you so much.
There is a lot to compare when we get to the horniness and the Road to El Dorado versus Les Mis. We'll save it. We'll save it.
But you're right.
I've got things. Okay. I'm so excited.
I think it's a funny match. I actually really like this finale, guys. It's pretty hilarious how these two movies. I would have never guessed these two movies would be in the finale.
I never would have picked these two movies to be the finale. That is hysterical.
This is pure shock factor. We're all ghouls, and I love us so much. Thank you guys, audience, for being honest in this ride. I hope you're ready for the finale of Les Mis versus the Road to El Dorado.
Oh, what the hell?
That's wild. Thank you so much for bearing with us through this conversation. If you're very furious at our decisions,
honorable mentions are going to be soon, so you could have your voice be heard then.
Yeah, let us know the movies
we've got a social media.
We have social media. Tweet at us, Instagram, direct message us. Email us, toughcutpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, I haven't plugged that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Do we get emails? I don't check our email. Does anyone check our email?
I do occasionally.
No, we haven't. We get emails from those people that are like, "You're having a podcast. Let me build your website." And it's just like, I don't want to, Craig.
I already have a website.
Real talk. Should we advertise with that ball shaving company? That'd be really funny.
Hey, audience, should we advertise with ball shaving company?
Yeah, let us know.
Y'all care. We're anti-ad here at the Tough Cut, but also ball shaving. Funny?
Funny? Question mark? Do you think Miguel and Tulio are shaved? Tweet at us.
Ooh, one of them definitely is. One of them definitely isn't. Audience can decide.
I think they have the biggest bushes around. Bigger than that jungle they went through. All right. Anything else we have to say?